At least take a bath before you go out.
Right. I'll head to the bathhouse right away.
Greetings to you two.
God bless.
I have a bit of coin again, and I'd like to throw it around. Should we play dice?
What game would you like to play?
How about farmers?
Let's play.
Aye, the beer's gotta flow.
What's that supposed to be?
Today's my lucky day. I can feel it in my bones.
I hear you like...
What game would...
Wagoners.
Let's...
Come on then, show us what you can do. Unless you're playing for the first time. If I was you, I'd take it. Have you lost your mind?
God grant you health.
You're going to lose everything. Let it be now. I want to play too, you know? Like this. That's enough. Your turn.
Good day to you. Good day.
Damn it. They're yours, lad.
God be with you. Greetings to you.
Here.
One beer, please.
Greetings.
Money, money, money. It's all mine. What do you want? But make it quick.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a friend of mine.
Let me guess. A dirty ruffian who ain't got a groschen to his name.
He was here then?
Aye, he was. He was larging it up, good and proper, and then he found...
What do you mean by that? Why unfortunately?
Because they're right ruffians who are always up to no good. But still, birds of a feather, eh? In the end, they left like best pals, but I got no idea...
What's going on around here, innkeeper?
Vostatek, Lord von... Going to believe this, but 2 local lads claim they found a water goblin's treasure.
You have a water goblin here?
It would be a wonder if we didn't, with all the ponds around. He's got a hut nearby. If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
Where did you say the water goblin's hut was?
If you follow the right bank of the Rock Tower Pond, you'll find it hidden in the reeds.
And what did they find there? Are you sure they didn't make it up?
I thought so too at first. They're foolish lads, so I wouldn't be surprised. But then they ordered wine and paid with silver. Their purse was jingling with groschen.
Would you happen to know where I could find these lads?
They often swim at the other side of the Rock Tower Pond. There's a pier there by the dam. That's their spot.
Any other news?
Recently, a bunch of charcoal burners who have their kilns on the hill above the Kerchak Pond came here to have a beer. I started talking to them and they told me they almost didn't make it.
Why?
They said a pack of wolves came after them.
Aren't wolves afraid of people?
That's what I thought too. It's strange.
Did they tell you where it happened?
In a gorge above the Rock Tower Pond. They noticed the wolves watching them from the rocks. If you climb up those rocks, you'll be able to see the whole pond from there.
Did they tell you how large the pack was?
They mentioned 3 wolves, but God knows if that's all of them.
Do you have any more news?
By the way, we've put together this wee fight club here. Would you like to try it?
That sounds good. What's it about?
It actually came about by chance when the miller Crazel and me bet on who has the stronger hired hands. Then other blokes from the village joined in, and it's become somewhat of a... And that's pretty much everything.
Thanks, innkeeper. Tell me more about these fights of yours.
It's really quite simple. You bet some money and fight against 3 blokes in turn. Our first fighter is Hans, a local musician. He may not look like much, but he knows a few tricks. Then we have Bohunek here. He works with horses, so he has more than enough strength to spare. And then there's Fiala. A good bloke, but Dorothy, his wife, has forbidden him from fighting.
I'd like to try the
Why not? But it won't be for free. If you don't have enough money, try to go and see Crazel at the mill. He recently bragged he was going to send someone here, but no one has come yet. Maybe you can come to some agreement together.
Fine. I'll go and see him, and we'll see.
Better off composing poetry about nature. You wish? Tis wise to
God
imitate
bless.
nature's
God be with you.
from dust to
Christ, it's hot out.
Aren't those guys sad that you're just letting them sit there? What will it be?
God bless.
You! Get out now! Kurva! Enough! I'll teach you, you fucker! Kill him!
That's bloody deep. So this is where the merchant's wagon tipped over. Everything floating here must be his. Poor fella. That's bloody deep.
Blessed evening to you. Come on, don't be shy. I won't bite.
That's a relief. What were you going to offer me?
Curiosity killed the cat. No shame in that, though. They call me Barley.
You have a peculiar name.
If I were ordinary, well, that's just another way of saying boring. And boring's not for me. So I wander the roads collecting my riddles, and if I meet anyone I find interesting, I'll happily work a riddle on them.
A riddle? Very well. Let's hear it.
Now, listen carefully. What belongs to you alone, but is used more often by others? Any idea?
My name.
That's right! You have a learned head on those shoulders. The robes of a priest would suit you better than a sword.
They really wouldn't, I assure you.
More's the pity. But down to business. I have a proposition for you. You deserve a reward for solving my riddle. Except, you've caught me flat broke. I can give you some of what little I have. Or teach you some of what I know. What'll it be?
I'm always up for learning something new. What can you...
I spend my days on the roads and my nights in the taverns. What interests you more?
Tell me about your experience on the road.
You can't beat a sturdy pair of shoes and a good supply of wine or ale with you. And keep an eye on the clouds. They can tell you if a big storm is brewing, and whether you'll have time to find some shelter.
I'll bear that in mind.
And you'll stay dry. Farewell! You're still here. What is it you need?
Do you have another riddle?
Another one? Hold your horses! A riddle needs to be nice and mysterious. It has to stimulate the mind. I can't be... What would people think?
So you've got nothing more for me then?
That's enough for one day.
You just wander the world.
Exactly. Never a dull day so far.
I think I'll be off.
Safe travels then. Perhaps we'll cross paths.
Ave Maria. I wonder...
You have a beautiful maypole. Does that mean life here?
Aye, we're doing pretty well, and our fellas guard that maypole well.
But if they're guarding it, who's doing the other work?
That's why they take turns. Our Al-Sheik was guarding it not long ago, but now the neighbour's lad, Henyik, is in charge of it. At least he doesn't have the time to fool around at night.
Do you know Henyik at all?
He started going out with our monka a while ago, but we put a stop to it. In short, he's not exactly the kind of fella I want in my family.
Why? Did he do something to you?
I don't want him whisking Manka away so we never see her again. His parents came here shortly after that terrible plague. There was a vacant farm, so they settled there. They had 3 sons, Henyik being the youngest. Say, have you met his brothers?
I haven't, though I can't say I made an effort to.
Well, you couldn't have met them even if you wanted, because they're not here. Both of them left. They say the younger one had a sweetheart in Troskowitz and took her with him. Nobody knows where they ended up.
The apple doesn't fall far from...
I'm telling you, one of these days, he's going to pack up and disappear, and I don't want him taking our monka along with him. He doesn't like folks talking about it, but wandering's in his blood whether he likes it or not. He's even got into fights over it. Just mentioning it is enough for him to clench his fists. I don't want Monka wasting her time with someone like him. You should try that on him.
Is Al-Sheikh your son?
Hi, he's our boy, but he's giving Prochek a headache because he doesn't like having to herd sheep. Ask him about it if you want.
Really ought to make a fool of that old geezer. He'll be the laughingstock of the whole region.
That's a beautiful maypole you have there. You don't see that every day. I reckon all the other villagers must...
They sure do. Them Geliovites try to steal it. But our fellas kicked their... Why are you so interested in it anyway?
If it was up to me, I'd have at least 5 fellas with clubs standing around it, and have them beat up anyone who dares walk by.
And who'd be left to work in the fields then, eh? No, that's not the way. And if someone had bad intentions, Henrik would show them how we do things here in Tachov. That's the one thing he's good for.
I wanted to ask about Henrik.
What about him?
Did he do something to you? Sounds like you're not exactly fond of him.
Aye, I'm not. He's been getting on my nerves ever since he got together with our Manka. I'm afraid he'll mess with her head and run off with her, just like his bloody brothers did.
Where did they go?
What do I know? One day they just packed up and wandered off. The village wasn't good enough for them, I reckon. I wouldn't mind if someone went and beat the thought of Manka out of his head. Maybe someone not from around here.
You're not the first to mention something like that.
I reckon Voika told you about it already, didn't she? No wonder. We both only want what's best for our daughter.
That shepherd,
Aye, that's my boy. He's going to be really important one day. I arranged for him to learn from Bailiff Trush, so he'll have a better life. But now it's his turn to look after the livestock, so he can't go there.
Listen, Prochek. Those Geliovites are plotting something against you.
What? Bloody hell.
Old Olbram offered me some groschen to steal your maypole.
Damn it! That bitter old fool just won't give up. As if it wasn't enough that we fairly and honourably took theirs, and then fairly and honourably kicked their asses when they tried to take ours. It's a tradition. That's just how it goes. But for him to send some bloody outsider like that...
Hey, this bloody outsider just did you a favour and told you everything, though he didn't have to.
Aye, he did. I can clearly see he's an honest bloke, and we value honesty around here.
Thanks. I see the people from Takov are honest.
That we are. Speaking of which, I reckon it would be fair to repay Olbram in kind. Let me know if you're interested. I came up with a nice little pastime that's sure to make Olbram shit himself.
There. It looks better already.
So what should I do to the Geliovites?
Listen up then. Old Olbram, the owner of the biggest plot of land in Zhelyov, has this beautiful bull. Obviously, he's very proud of it. Very protective too. Now, simple, right?
Painting a bull, eh?
Right. We just have to work out a few details. First, we have to get some paint. I don't reckon we'll be able to get any here in the village, but you can try and ask Bartoszek, the tailor in Trotskovitz. I hear he dyes his own fabric. And after that, we'll have to make sure the bull stays still while you're painting it. Try asking Radovan, the local blacksmith. I hear he can make some kind of sleeping potion. If you pour it in the bull's water trough, I'm sure it'll do the trick. But watch out. That beast is enormous. You'd better put at least 3 doses of the potion in there.
All right then. Olbram's bull...
Oh, and remember, it's supposed to be a joke. If you get caught or something goes wrong, the whole thing will be ruined.
Right. So I need paint, sleeping potions, and to not get caught. Why do you and the...
It's their fault. They keep playing tricks on us. Olbram's the worst of them all. The nasty old codger. He's always coming up with ways to mess with us. He's the one that stole our pasture.
What pasture did they...
The one that stretches from the orchard behind the Takoff down to the gamekeeper's lodge. It's been ours since time immemorial, but the Gelievites took it from us.
And how did they take it from you? You can't exactly stuff a pasture in your purse.
Save the jokes, will you? This is fucking serious. There's a tree down by the gamekeeper's lodge that marks the edge of our land. My father, God rest his soul, was there when they agreed on it. He got a proper arse kicking so he'd remember it, and remember it. But then fucking Olbram came along, claiming it was the other way round. And that pasture...
Well...
Do you think we haven't tried? But there's no talking to the Gelievites. Year after year we meet in that pasture. I tell it like it was, but Olbram always starts spewing his lies. Then we end up arguing until the sun sets. And when the Gelievites are at wit's end, they come at us, and nothing ever gets solved. We managed to convince them to at least give us back half the pasture. But I know the whole bloody thing belongs to us. We can...
And how did they take it from you?
Save the jokes, will you? There's a... But then...
Well...
Do you... Year after... And when the Gelia... We managed...
And...
There's a... But then...
Well... That... Have you tried asking...
Of course, but he'd have none of it. He said it's up to the Trotskovitz bailiff to sort it out. But the bailiff couldn't care less. He said we should deal with Olbram ourselves, or he'll have us caned and clapped in the pillory.
Can I spend the night?
Not a chance. Move on.
God bless. I wish you a pleasant day. God bless.
you want, you, but make it quick.
What's new around here?
You should pay a visit to Old Mouth sometime. He's our local storyteller, you know. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things, but only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. What's new around?
Nothing new. It's quiet here, fortunately.
Greetings to you.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep.
Well, it's true. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally put the recipe as an old blacksmith's secret. The kind...
Wouldn't you tell a fellow? My dad was a swordsmith, and I used to...
But you didn't pay much attention, did you now? Otherwise, you'd know the recipe by now, and you wouldn't be...
No, I don't want it just for the sake of it. I need to use...
So, Project and Obram are at it again. Blockheads, both of them. And the place was just getting really... Well, what the hell. Maybe if I help you out, they'll start trading punches sooner. Pay up, and I'll tell you the secret.
Thank you.
So, did you want to make a deal or not?
All right. I heard you could use...
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. What do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone.
Yeah. I basically grew up in... My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords...
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you...
Sure thing. I can get started.
Great. Find some iron and get...
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Go over to the anvil, and let's get started. Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up, but try poking it around for a bit. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. by the color, but you won't be able to tell when it's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time and take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw color we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other.
Got your head in the clouds again, haven't you?
That's because I love him.
Oh, Jesus,
no one
it has to be
as
even!
beautiful as him.
Very nice.
Blasphemy.
You're
You'll
doing
end
just
up in
fine.
hell.
But when I say
as
evenly,
pure as
I
mine
mean it.
can't be
A sword has two sides,
It's a gift
like a lot of other things, including
all
myself. Turn it over
painting
and
on the
continue
wall.
on the other side.
He always looks at me when I walk into the church. Nobody's ever looked at me like that before.
That's just the way it's painted. You feel like he's looking at you, but it's nothing but paint on plaster. Nothing more.
You're only saying that because you don't
Nice.
have anyone.
Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. But it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. Thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. See that? Besides the spark, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. That's the ring you want. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work goes by easier. Sometimes I'll whistle to myself to keep the rhythm going. That's some nice whistling. Sparks. That's the stuff. That's some nice whistling. It's easier to forge to a rhythm, isn't it? There you go. You've got it finished. All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking. Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't get tired so quickly, and the iron feels it.
How do I know a good strike from a bad one?
By the sparks that fly up, and by the ring. It rings out with a different sound when you do it right.
What's the right way to heat up the workpiece?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. Ideally, the color should be the same every... The main thing is, don't work it cold. You just ruin it. Don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks start to fly off it in the furnace.
Why should I forge evenly?
If you keep hammering the same spot, you'll never finish it. You'll just fuck it. But jumping from one end to the other ain't a good idea neither. You'd end up working. The best thing to do is aim each strike.
Thanks.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep your things. And of course, you can use the forge anytime. Any questions?
Where can I get materials?
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, you'll have to look elsewhere. This is just a village, you know. The locals ain't after luxury. And they can't afford it neither.
What can I do with the items I've forged?
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around here. But I'll happily buy some of the nicer things from you.
Where exactly is my bed?
At the side of the house. There are 2 doors and a wheelbarrow between them. You go in by the rear door, next to the woodshed, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't...
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to do right away. You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is axes and horseshoes. Right. Here are some simple drawings that show what they're... You can get down to it right away.
Just like that? You aren't gonna...
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. I'm not going to look over your shoulder all blood. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again, I'll...
I've been banging this spot for a long time. I should move it.
like I was a stranger. He never used to be like that.
I know. Sorry. He's getting old and losing his wits. He's half blind, as good as deaf, and when he takes fright, he nearly takes your hand off.
He used to be such a sweet boy.
I'll give him a bit longer before I take him to the knackers. I don't want to wait for him to bite someone.
Serious? Poor dog.
Aye. He is. When he was little, he fit inside my heart. He was such a cute puppy. We'll miss him when he's gone.
Another puppy. Everyone needs something to cheer them up.
This is useless. I should move it.
Oh, please. The priest gambles with them. What? He bet he does. His housekeeper told me he's got a brooch at home I lost a month ago. How did it end up there?
Almost got it done.
One beer.
Greetings. Greetings.
It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with a cart full of goods towards Semin. And...
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up. And especially the cargo. Go to...
Have you any idea which way they might have gone?
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart. It leads from Takov to Troskovitz. But I've got a bad feeling they got up to no good in Semin.
Those two hands of yours, Venser and Franz...
Can't tell you much. They're wandering labourers.
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. I'd say Lord Semin wants to rearm his garrison with new equipment. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts, and some kitchen stuff. Sacks of charcoal. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right.
Go ahead. And if you find that pair of fools drunk...
Gladly. I'll kick some. I heard you could
For a few groschen? What is this about?
There's a couple more things I'd like to ask about.
Ask away.
How will I know it's...
Notice the shape. The closer you are to finishing, the more precise the shape.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
Greetings.
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
God be with you. Oh, I just... I really better...
Good.
I've travelled the whole world, and now I will tell you the amazing things I
dry with no fresh water. The people there call themselves the Allies. Lord be with you.
I've heard you dye your own...
I used to. I tried a few times. Why'd you ask?
I'd like to buy some pigment.
I see. Well, perhaps I...
Look.
Is that so? What do you want it for?
Nothing important.
All right, whatever. But I'd hate to find... You know what? If I scraped off some of that dry pigment from the edges... That could work. Those pigments are a magical...
What do you mean?
For example, if you need blue, you can use blueberries or woad leaves. Put them in hot water with the fabric and it'll turn blue. Walnuts good too. With the husks of unripe walnuts, you can get a very nice light brown, sometimes even yellow. The best way to make red is from madder root. And when you add alum or beeswing to the water, the colour gets a beautifully rich shade. Or you could just use plain old black elder, the berry. Oh, and privet's not too bad either. If you use its bark and alum, you can even use the leaves. They make a nice But you know what's my favourite way of making yellow? Using dyer's broom or weld. You take a few nice stems, and for so much cheaper than using saffron or buckthorn makes a nice green, maybe the best of all. The most important part is the stain anyway, like alum, for example. But even that won't help you if you don't know what... I don't dye fabric much anymore, but I see you're really into it.
My word.
Oh, just be careful not to stain yourself. Quality. What will it be?
Excuse me? I'm looking...
Loads of people have been in the pillory, and...
You haven't seen him, then? Tall, fair-haired, fancy...
Sorry, but I'm swamped with work because of the Semine wedding. Even Bashka the Butcher ordered a jacket fit for a king. And he is so... no. I have...
Keep an eye on your purse. Someone's been stealing around here.
Hey, wayfarer! You have a long road ahead of you. Why don't you and I roll some dice?
Take your stuff and walk the rest of the way.
Oh, perhaps it will not be so bad.
I, priest. How could I have forgotten about him? Maybe because I don't think he'll be able to solve my problem.
I'm looking for the tack-off blacksmith's cart. Have you seen it?
Loads of carts come past here. There's going to be a wedding and they need... Try asking Captain Gnarly. He keeps an eye on supplies. He'll probably be in the...
Thanks.
And watch yourself when you go into the courtyard.
Why?
We've got some wedding guests from Moravia. They're in pretty high spirits. It's still a while to the wedding, but them gents is already getting into the swing of things.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you fray. Man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. Prepare to fight!
What? What? Why did you do that?
Don't take any of his shite, you
Expect that, did you?
The executioner's sharpening his axe for you.
Come on, you're shame on you! You won't get me!
Expect that, did you? You dung grubber.
Shame.
Come on then!
Shame on
Fucking hell!
Someone better hold
Show your stuff!
You ought to be ashamed.
You dung grubber! I'll beat you to a bloody pulp! Come on! Oh, you wee
What in the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The tack-off blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yirko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing 12 geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yechin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent.
Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
sir.
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah?
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No, that's not...
Take it easy, son. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above! And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? And I'm a bit too old.
You got a stud farm here, don't you?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. Our groom brought in a grey nag, not tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got...
Actually, I'd like to go and see that.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
I'd eat and drink my fill and check out the...
I hope Lord Samin didn't hear you. He'd be none too pleased to hear you want to take part in such a...
I beg your pardon, Captain, but that's what most fellas go to weddings for.
That's an unspoken truth, son. Unspoken. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take...
This Yurko and his...
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they...
Only they're from Moravia. So they're...
What can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push...
And you, sir?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now...
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly...
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. Oh, I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker.
We should probably get...
My thoughts exactly. Off to the court...
May your hand fall on off. duty yet. That's not a manner I'd like to deal with. Hail. Sacra! It was here a moment ago. There's a thief lurking about. You... Fine! I'll make you surrender! If you keep resisting, I've all the right in the world to execute you on the spot!
I give up!
You've been loitering around where you shouldn't have. And don't think we're idiots. You've been accused of theft. You'll pay a fine, and if I don't find those things on you, you'll pay...
Be here somewhere.
It was you!
Are you yanking my...
Shut your trap! I won't be intimidated by...
Take me away.
Now I'll...
Have a look then.
Right. All right. I'll lock you up. Don't cause any trouble. Got it?
God be with you.
Sacra! It was here a moment ago. There's a thief lurking about. Hey! Where'd it go?
Greetings to you.
What would you like?
Would you happen to have a cheap horse?
Well, but by the looks of you, you must be talking about that grey nag. But all she's good for are sausages. I was already suspicious when that traveller sold. He said he found her running about near the Rock Tower Pond.
Grey, old, and someone found... That's where we were ambushed. That's my horse. That's Pebbles.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
She's my horse in the retinue that was attacked down by...
Right. You happen to need a new horse, and this one just happens to be the one. Does it have your brand? It does not. So you are out of luck.
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't...
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty. He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
Look.
I heard about it.
And the one who sold it to you told you...
Well?
So it's not entirely impossible she belonged to me?
Maybe not impossible, but I paid for...
Aye, but just a few groschen. Wouldn't you rather be in the good graces of someone who might have been part of that expedition?
Maybe so. All right, I'll give her to you. But you owe me one. Go and get her then. If she remembers you, she might even come when you whistle for her. Safe travels. What are you whistling for? Oh, excuse me.
Rear up!
Henry, move your arse for Christ's sake.
I've got it in for you, scum. You're that bastard who's been snooping around on other people's property. I'll have none of that. You'll pay a fine and then you'll...
Look.
What are you talking...
Look, we're both men.
Where are you going with this?
It's like this.
No.
They're really good. Well, this yard at high noon, then all of a sudden, I look around and realise that girl made a right...
Oh, all right then. I'll turn a blind eye just this once.
Are you going to do laundry today?
I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Don't shove.
Slowly. Nice and slow. Quick! Quick!
I had to raise my prices again.
Whoa!
You two.
Fruit, vegetables, fresh, everything fresh.
Whoa!
Good day.
Go! Ka! Ka!
Ah! Ah! Go! Quick! Quick!
Servus, Salve,
Are you in charge of the horses around here?
Aye. You got me and my stallion Dan have all the horses in the
All the horses in the region?
You will see for yourself when you bring me one. I will take any horse, as long as it is alive. Where you get it from is none of my business. I will buy it for all the groschen I can scrounge together.
Well, there's a hefty... They'd have your head for it in most places.
When the catch post last showed up because of Marika, they ended up leaving with their tails between their legs. This ladder of passage protects us, and when that is not enough, I can just point out the person. It is always Gajo that bring them, after all. Who is the thief then? Huh?
All right. So I can sell horse. What else?
And if you just happen to like the horse so much that you would like to keep it, perhaps because your ass has started to ache from... I would be happy to teach it to listen to you like a proper... For a bit of coin, that is. Of course you will have to pay me, not the horse. It will certainly be cheaper than buying one from those bastards at the stables.
All right. Where should I take the horse?
Put him by the pennants over there.
That's what I thought. I already put...
But that is your horse, mother. Do not... How would you get your arse...
What's life like?
I have been traveling since I was little, and it is all I know. But this...
And what about the people here?
Of course not. But people need support. Struggling through the world by yourself, but each to their own. The locals are always uptight and do... Then when people come who know how to enjoy life and...
What do you know, man?
Different people do different now. We Roma are mainly craftsmen, traveling blacksmiths and locksmiths. Also, we know all things about traveling, such as breeding horses, shoeing them, and what is more, our old Aranka can tell the future and treat the same.
Teach me some of your language.
What do you want to know?
Let me think. I'm a
Let's see if you remember this.
Nestum tulo chororo dilina.
Laches. It is like, now you can say it to girls when you meet.
Teach me something else.
Let us try something polite. Like when...
Would that be hard?
Who said that our language is easy? Say after me. Kai tumaro baro balo.
Kai tomorrow baro balo?
Clever lad. Remember that and maybe say it to our voivod. He will be overjoyed to hear it from you.
Hola.
Takai just mora. And with you.
Look at him, that Gajo. Aranka described somebody just like him. Go and see the voivod.
What a nag. Oi.
Good day to you.
My name is Henry, and I've heard in the village that you're a renowned...
Depends.
I'm looking for someone to help me.
What's it about?
Well, it's complicated. But the short version is, a few days ago I thought I was done for. That's how badly beat. And now, well, I'm feeling a bit...
Aye, that I can do. If what you say is true, I've been missing a good fight around here.
What would you like in...
Oh, please. I'll do it out of sheer kindness. I don't have anything to do right now anyway.
We can start right...
All right. Follow me.
Should we begin?
Here's a practice longsword. Let's see what you've got. We'll start with exchanges, and if you do well, if you're going to attack, commit to it. Don't stop after a single strike. Dish out several. Now I'm going to show you a simple technique that builds on that. You'll attack from the right, then left, then right again. Attacks follow one after the other. And you don't even have to break through your opponent's cover.
So right, left, and then right again.
Exactly. You could also do it the other way around. I'll let you have exactly 3 strikes, so you're not wasting effort just flailing around.
I'll get it. Let's do...
Nice! Now do it again! Come on, keep going! Why didn't you finish? Beautiful! Aye, you've got the hang of it. Let's try something more difficult. I'll teach you a real technique. You start with a slash from above, then from the right, and when your opponent expects another attack from above, you do a quick sidestep and drag your blade horizontally across his belly.
So I'll start from the top, then from the right, and then...
From the left. Remember, top, right, and finally left.
All right, let's give it a try.
I'll let you make 3 strikes just like before. No more. Wrong. You have to make 3 attacks in quick succession. I said 3 attacks in a row. Nice. Now do it again. Beautiful. That's that, then. You don't even have to use a longsword for this technique.
That'll come in handy.
And one more piece of advice. Any attack can start with this or that technique. Look, if I attack from the right, your riposte will come from above. And that's the first step of this technique. Think.
What about other tech?
I'll teach you even more if you want. But it won't be as cheap. And if you prove yourself to me, I'll teach you the best technique of all. Meister.
How about someone else?
I'm sure I'm not the only swordsman.
How could I prove myself to you?
You'll have to defeat me in a sword fight. Because this technique...
So all I have to do is challenge you?
That's right.
I'll challenge you to a...
Ha! I've barely... Sorry, lad, but it's too soon for me to...
True.
Sarnila poslanky.
Thank you.
What are you doing here? I won't have you causing trouble here. Lady, cough up some...
Wait, I was just fooling around, and I certainly didn't want to upset you.
Well, and I'm sure you also know I won't be... It looks like nothing.
Tetumenga, you look just like...
Hi, John, Julia.
I'm
sorry.
What a knack! You've no business here.
It looks like nothing.
You won't come here making trouble, fella.
Hang on, I was just fooling around. I certainly wouldn't want to try anything on a man. After all, everyone in the...
Well, we'll let it go this time, but...
And they try to tell us charms and spells do not...
Easy, easy.
Are you
nice
blind?
and slow.
You almost
Die! Ka! Ka! Quick! Quick! Whoa!
You're not... What are you snooping around here for? Do you want me to report you? Either you pay up...
Hang on, I certainly would... After all...
Well, we'll let it go this... Out! Let's go!
That's it. Go now. Not you again! That's it. Go now. This must be the ugliest horse I've seen in my life.
Quick!
What do you want here?
Come on now, you've no business here. Out! Clear off! You can't just... God! God! Go! God! God! Quick!
What the fuck is this supposed to...
Hey, lad! What do you want? Come here.
What do you want?
Just to wish you a good day. Good to see you, lad.
Really? It seems to me I'm...
Ha! That poor fella didn't have anything interesting, but you might.
You don't look like a...
Ha! Take care, lad.
Only cowards slit throats.
You don't look like you know how to wield...
Oh, but I do.
When I'm finished with you. You're in for an ass-kicking, you piece of shit!
Whoa! Dead. And robbed of everything, just like Capon left him. And there's no trace of Mutt. Oh, there's something lying over there. I hope it's not Mutt. Oh, a nice bit of venison. And something took a good bite of it. Could Mutt have been here? Mutt's nowhere around. Someone must have taken him in. It's not far to the herb woman's place. Maybe I should ask her whether she's seen him. Go! Have you seen a stray dog around?
I'm sorry. If I were a dog, I'd go to where...
Do you think he'd go and steal leftover...
I don't know much about dogs. You wouldn't be the first or the last. Maybe your dog's gone...
Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember.
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows these old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. I'm very worried about her. What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but...
All right, good wife.
Thank you, Henry. If I was you, I'd ask in Troskovitz, and you can look in the hut in her place. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you...
So, Pavlena, what have you left for me? Like she got up and went straight out. She's got unfinished work here. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here?